It appears that a lot of my content is going to be spent responding to comments from so-called PlayStation fanboys or whatever, but hey, guys, this is exactly what we call original content. I'm having some sort of a, in quote, conversation with people that watch my videos. If they have an issue or have a question, let's dive into it. Let's kind of unveil what's going on here, because to be very honest with you, if you have the truth to tell me about something that I'm wrong on, do you know who benefits the most? Me. You know why? I get to make better, more informed videos as time goes on. I've learned a lot from the community over the last few months. I can tell you examples, specific great examples like Platinum Games and how they handled Scalebound. I did not know the context of that. Some of you said, hey, go look at that. Stalker 2, the developers and how they handled their relationship with Xbox. Some of you said, go take a look at that. And many other things that have given me what I think is a better knowledge of the gaming industry and incidents happening in different places. That's my focus. So Elusive Wonder Effect 7034, I remember your comments from the last few months. You were at odds with some of the things that I said. And I've said in the most part, if you have anything against my arguments, please help me correct them, bring to the forefront of what's going on. However, you have now come with some kind of an attack. This channel is now a coping mechanism for Xbox. What? You guys are all over YouTube now. It's funny because you guys always claim to be PC gamers. All right. Some of you have a problem with Dark1985. I like the guy. I think he's, in my opinion, someone who says what he thinks, is not afraid to be wrong, and whenever things shift or change, he will correct himself, but he's not afraid to tell you how he feels. So some of you have seen someone like maybe Dark, or maybe a former console person say that they're now on PC. So you equate that with me coming out to say that I'm a PC gamer, and that doesn't necessarily sit well with you. Well, if you were wanting to know, I am a PC gamer, have been for a number of years. In fact, I covered Tom Clancy's The Division for about 6, almost 7 years, and I did so for the majority of my time on PC. Shocking to you is if you go through my videos from even 2016, when I first started making videos on the game, I was actually playing on PlayStation. So there's not just receipts, there's an entire paper trail for not 1, not 2, but about 6 years of having seen me go to that route. When I moved to The Division 2 and started making content, I stayed on PC, and later in the life of the game, I then switched back to making my content using my PlayStation. So this talk about you not being a PC gamer or whatever it is, you really have to put it down because it just shows that there's a little bit of a pedantic nonsense here. And again, I can understand. Somewhere, somehow, nobody invited these PC gamers, but they butted in, and now they're part of the conversation. I get it. It might be aggravating. They have no stake in this matter. What's their business? Why are they here? What are they talking about? Blah, 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 blah. I can understand. But here's the thing, though. Don't you think that that's actually a distraction, though? Don't you think we should be more focused on what is really going on in the gaming industry, though? Or do you really want to know why? Is it that important to you that you know why? And so I replied and said, hey, Elusive Wonder Effect 7034. I said, why not verify if I'm a PC gamer or not? I can simply tell you what you want to know. I said, are you interested in the truth? He said, my question is this. I don't know if you sounded like that, but I have to make it a little colorful, okay? So let me take that tone back. My question is this. Why has PC gamers become so involved in the console war? We're not involved in the console war. You know why? Because it's dead. It died immediately. Xbox decided that they were going to shift and change the game. You said, why do you guys now put on a cape for Xbox? And more importantly, why do you guys all have the same talking points as Xbox fanboys? This channel was once interesting. Now it's another anti-PlayStation on YouTube. Do you know why? Because apparently Xbox recruited us to start doing their... I can say it with a straight... I can say it with a straight face. Let me tell you what I think. From my perspective, I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for another PC gamer who may be in the conversation or another Xbox gamer who may have, say, in quote, similar talking points. Here's what I found out. There's a lot of dishonesty in this conversation. Too much of it even. And I sat by and I watched this for many years. In fact, when I listen to some PlayStation podcasts and some PlayStation videos, there will be people who will sit there and make comments that are straight up lies. Like they will literally lie on a public platform And there will be statistics and data and numbers to that effect, and they will never cite it, nor would they ever go back to correct what it is that they had said. Then they'll take their lies and run with it and make it a narrative of some kind, putting, in some cases, PlayStation players in a whole bucket of misinformation, as well as Xbox players who may not necessarily pay attention to going to look at the statistics and the data in another bucket of misinformation as well. Who is going to then come out and say exactly what's going on? Well, the Xbox gamers came out and they said, this is what we're seeing, but they were called biased because they are Xbox people. So somewhere, somehow, I started looking at all this and said, someone's got to say something. I don't care for Xbox. In fact, you saying that this channel used to be interesting, then you should know that when Gotham Knights showed up on the Xbox Series platform, which I bought a copy on the Xbox, and PlayStation, which I bought a copy on PlayStation, and I found out that it was 30 FPS because the consoles haven't advertised to us that we could play up to 4K 120, both of them. You should know that I was the first to lambast both consoles. I was the first person to say these consoles are a wash and they are a fraud because we got advertised something with a big, huge asterisk caveat on the box there that you could barely see in fine print, while on my box of the PlayStation 5, it has 8K. So you should know that, or maybe you don't know that, and somewhere, somehow, maybe you're not necessarily, in a sense, bothered about knowing the truth. And here's another thing, and I gotta say this. PC gamers are eating good. Yes, the PC platform is all of this stuff. Yes, we got Steam and all that. And so some PlayStation players attempted something this last year. They tried to bring that nonsense gaslighting to PC players and ended up being a very bad idea. You see, PC players are renegade. It's an when you walk into PC gaming or walk into the way PC gamers see things, it's an entire different frame of mind. It's even evident by if you're just looking at the kinds of games both, PC gamers and console gamers will play. Just many things make them stand out. And so that frame of mind makes most PC gamers anti-corporate in a sense. So when PlayStation players brought that nonsense to PC players, not realizing that many of them already have vitriol for the corporate entities, even though they may engage in their games or whatever it is, there's a lot of distrust under there. Bam! They got smacked so hard with all of that frustration, and they ran back into their little holes because for the PC gamer, facts are something that are predicated on how you even start building your machine. You have to sit there and you have to learn what your machine that you're wanting to build or the machine you already have is capable of based on data, metrics, painstaking, process and testing and all. That's done for us, thankfully, by YouTubers. Hardware Unboxed, one of my, favorite channels that I watch on here, Terraware, who used to also be a big gamer as well, enjoys gaming on all platforms. You see Gamers Nexus, you see Daniel Owen, who's also a fellow educator and a teacher, and all of that stuff. So we're very used to actually asking people to back up their claims. So when some PC players looked at these PlayStation players talking all this stuff and we said, back up your claim, and many of them attempted to gaslight, insult, throw shade, like you were doing with your PC spelling. I mean, it's kind of antagonistic, but it is what it is. All right. But in seeing that, we just laughed and said, what is wrong with everybody? Why is nobody interested in the truth? So I picked up a microphone and I said, you know what? I'm going to say something. And till date, I still am yet to find many PlayStation players who are willing to actually argue with me on the merits of the arguments and even the merits of some of the Xbox players' arguments, because that's what the problem has been. They've basically sat down in their podcast and have enjoyed anti-Xbox audiences that now that someone has come to say, all right, your ideas are under a microscope, go ahead and back them up. I'm getting a question, why are PC gamers so invested? Who cares if I'm a squirrel? Or if I'm a freaking zebra? I just want you to back up your claims. If you can back your claims up and you can tell the truth, everybody is going to pretty much say, yes, you are backing your claims based on the truth. But if you can't back up your claims and you're worried about why a PC gamer or a freaking calculator gamer is on a conversation, then you need to go back and check those claims again to see if they actually have any way to hold up to scrutiny. If they can't hold up to scrutiny, then I think you might have to go back, review them, possibly modify them, or possibly change them. I think it's this change that's making a whole lot of people a little anxious to figure out that over the past few years they've been lied to, maybe misdirected, maybe misinformed by people out here. I couldn't be bothered, ladies and gentlemen, about what PlayStation or Xbox is going to do, but I just want to make sure that we are having conversations based on the reality. It's just that simple. Why should this be a problem? Who is the one that's asking the questions? Why? Why? Thank you very much for your comment, and also thank you for the video that I got out of it. But don't you think it's interesting that you actually have to ignore my entire video and worry about what's being said in the video if it's true or not? It's a very interesting world we live in. Thanks for watching the video. Peace out.